What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just, back in another video. This is your one-stop shop for anime and manga. Let's get into it. Alright, I want to start by saying thank you everyone for subscribing. If you're new here, you like my content, you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so don't post another video. Also follow me on Twitter, that's gonna be in the description. What's good, y'all? So today, sorry for a little bit of a later video. I had a little trouble getting my manga haul, but we are finally going to do it. We are going to be doing my manga haul for the month of March, and this one is so bittersweet because I am finishing one series that I truly hold dear. I truly fell in love with. I can't believe I loved it so much, and now it's over. I finally got the final volume, so we're going to talk about it today. Let's get started. So it's only right. I got to start with basically a series that I feel like really started my channel, and that's Candy and Cigarettes. Candy and Cigarettes follows an 11-year-old assassin and her Grandpa H handler on their quest to get revenge on her parents' killer. This one is very bittersweet. I really do love this. So I started collecting this series. This is one of the first series I started collecting when I started this channel, and I completely fell in love with it. This right here is the final volume, volume 11, and I gotta say, it's by far an amazing, amazing ride. I still have not read volume 10, so that means I have to read 10 and then finally 11. I'm kind of holding off on it a little bit because this one was just a crazy action-packed series. I honestly did not expect it to like it as much as I do because just the relationship between Miharu, which is the 11-year-old assassin, and Reizo, who is the Grandpa H handler. He was just looking for a random job because he needed to pay for his his grandson's medical expenses. So he found some crazy sketchy job that's going to pay him all the money he needs. And it turns out to be the handler, or not necessarily the handler, but like the cleanup person to this 11-year-old assassin. And it's just, from there, it just goes completely different from what you would think. And their relationship really does become just a beautiful thing because he really looks at this little girl as essentially his like granddaughter. And she obviously looks at him like kind of like her grandfather / father figure. And they actually grow to really love each other. And she is a badass assassin. The action in this series is by far amazing. One of my favorites. I'm very, very sad that this is the final volume, but I really enjoyed this ride. This is one series that I highly recommend anyone to just give it a try. After that, I picked up a series that obviously is taking the world by storm, and that's Solo Leveling Volume 11. After Sung Jin-woo survives a double dungeon, he realizes he has the powers of the system, which allows him to level up his power infinitely. Obviously, solo leveling, it's hard to describe. If you've been watching the anime, you've seen the first two seasons. The first two seasons should be done at this point. I'll be completely honest with y'all. I've completed solo leveling. I've read everything online already. And I'm currently rereading it through the physicals as I get them. Yeah, those first two seasons, that's not what the story's about at all. You are actually going to start what the actual series is about. So essentially, think of those first two seasons as kind of like an epilogue. That's kind of what it was. You know, it's describing Sung Jin-woo's power. It's showing you what he's capable of, showing you exactly what he can do. Now you actually get to the actual meat of the series, and it just goes crazy. I mean, you are absolutely going to love this. So I had to pick up volume 11. I don't know how many volumes this series is going to have specifically. Looking through this, it looks like this is maybe the halfway point, but I highly doubt it. It's been a while since I've read it. It's been a few years since I've read the actual series, so forgive me for that. But I cannot wait. I'm going to collect every single one of this because Solo Leveling, obviously, if y'all have seen the anime, it's just that good. Next thing I picked up was a series that it really is only coming out sporadically, and that's The World's Finest Assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. The world's greatest assassin gets reincarnated in a fantasy assassin family, and now the god of the world entrusts him to kill the hero. I gotta say, this one, the anime became one of my favorite isekais. It was between this and Jabba's Reincarnation. Jabba's Reincarnation, it's very mixed at this point. I don't know how much I really do like it anymore. So far, I haven't heard anything bad with Assassin, but I absolutely do love this series. It really is like sporadic. It does not come out with these volumes enough for me. It took, I think maybe 2 years between like volumes like 4 and 5 or something like that. So right now here is volume 7. I absolutely love this series. This is definitely one of the better isekais, similar to Jabba's Reincarnation in the way that the older gentleman, he gets reincarnated as a baby, but he still has all of his memories. So he gets reincarnated into this fantasy world, and he gets reincarnated into a assassin family. And obviously the god that reincarnated him gets him pick a specific skill set, specific powers, and now he's going to use obviously his assassin brain because he's the world's greatest assassin in the real world. Now he's going to combine that with the magical powers that he's learning from the assassin family so that he can take over and he can actually kill the hero, which we don't know why the god wants him to kill the hero, but that's basically his entire life quest. I think he needs to kill the hero by the time he turns like 18 or 19, something like along those lines. Because of that, I think this series is going to be a little bit shorter because I think at this point he's probably about 16 around this. I think on this volume he's around 16, so he should be essentially ready to go and eliminate the hero. He's like preparing, I guess. So this is a nice, amazing isekai. I highly recommend checking out that anime because it really was amazing. I really do enjoy the powers, and guess what? Basically, the anime was only like the first volume of this series, which was insane to me. When I realized that, like, it was essentially like the first 2 volumes of the manga. It's like so much happens in the manga. So everything is so fast paced. Obviously, this is originally a light novel series, so probably the light novel is most likely better. I don't know. I haven't read that one, but I highly recommend. If not checking out the manga, definitely check out the anime for The World's Greatest Assassin. That is really good. And then I picked up a rather surprising series. I did not think I was going to pick up any series from this creator, but I guess I found one that I actually do enjoy, and that's Black Paradox by Junji Ito. 4 people intent on self-deletion meet through the Black Paradox website. They wander together in search of the perfect death, faithfully opening a door that leads them to a rather bizarre destiny. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed this. So I read this one online first. Obviously, you know me, I'm not trying nothing. I'm not going to pick up any volume blind. So I did try this one online first, and I actually surprisingly enjoyed it. I've always loved Junji Ito's artwork. I think his artwork is amazing. But for me, the stories just never really hit. I think I've read Romina, I've read Uzumaki, I think I've read some short stories, and I think Shiver, because my girl has it, and I think I read a little bit of I think it's pronounced Shinichi. So I read a little bit. I've never been a fan of Junji Ito's work. Now I do need to try out, I think it's Tomie and Gyo. I heard those are very, very good, so I'll try those out at a later time. Like I said, I've never really enjoyed his stories. They've always just never hit home for me. The artwork was by far amazing. So I always wanted to try at least have like one Junji Ito manga that I really do enjoy in my collection. Because like he's like one of the staples. You gotta have something of Junji Ito, and I absolutely really love Black Paradox. So these 4 people, they meet because they all want to commit self-deletion, and it's just an insanely bizarre world because they all have their specific reasons, but their specific reasons are basically different versions of clones or after them. So one of them had like a robot who was created to be his perfect image. So the robot, he thinks the robot is going to take over his life. Another one is just like the doppelganger. So have you ever heard that like fairy tale where if you ever meet your doppelganger in real life, one of you needs to die? There's that one. There's another one where I think she's like a mirror image of her, like the mirror image of her is trying to kill her. So she's trying to like, commit self-deletion before that happens. So it's a whole big thing. But the story goes crazy left when they have these like golden orbs that they end up having access to, and those golden orbs basically make them insanely rich, and everything just goes to hell from there. I don't want to spoil too much because this one actually did keep me guessing a lot. It is really, really good. I highly do recommend this one. You're gonna love Junji Ito's artwork because it's always hitting, and this is one of his stories where if I absolutely liked it, honestly, everyone more than likely is gonna like it because my taste for horror manga is a little bit different. I don't tend to typically like any of the other Junji Ito's works that everyone obviously adores. So if I like this one, that means it's exceptionally good because for me to even pick up this series was insanely difficult because I was a little bit worried. I wasn't thinking I was gonna like this series. Cause I did pick up Uzumaki blind. I ended up selling it later on, so I was worried about this one. But I read this one online. I absolutely loved it. Highly recommend Black Paradox. It's really good. Next thing I picked up was Mr. Villain's Day Off, Volume 6. This series is a slice of life about an evil supervillain who needs self-care too on his days off when he's not trying to take over the world. I gotta say, I absolutely love Mr. Villain's Day Off. I originally saw the anime and completely fell in love with it. It's one of those series that really just decompresses and relaxes me, similar to Smoking Me Hatsumarka with You. So I saw the anime for Mr. Villain's Day Off. I absolutely loved it. So I decided that, you know what, let me go ahead and try to pick up the manga too, because I think the manga is going to give me the exact same feelings, honestly, because just the series, the tone of the series in general, it's funny to me because basically it's this alien that, this alien group, they come down, they try to take over the world, and essentially the Power Rangers, that's basically what they are. Basically the Power Rangers are stopping them, so they're, in this midst of battle all the time. But the series particularly takes place on the villain's day off. So basically on his days off, he does not want to see anyone that he knows what he calls from work. Basically, he treats trying to take over the world as like a 9 to 5 job almost. So when he has his days off, he doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to see any of like the Power Rangers or whatever. He doesn't want to see any of his coworkers or nothing like that. He just wants to do what he wants, chill, relax, go to the zoo, and he absolutely loves pandas. If you notice the other previous volumes, there's always pandas in the volume because pandas are like the one thing he absolutely loves. And he always says that when he goes to finally destroy the world and take everything over, he's gonna save the pandas. So that's the funniest thing for me, that he wants to save the pandas. And I do recommend watching the anime for this one specifically, only because the volumes are a little bit expensive. They about $15 a volume, and these are extremely thin for $15. I mean, I don't know about this one. I got it because obviously I'm obsessed with the anime, but if you want to try Mr. Villain's Day Off, definitely just go with the anime first because you're going to be spending a lot if you want a thin volume. Next thing I picked up, I'm basically putting it as a 2-in-1, even though it's two completely separate series, and that is Goodbye Eerie and Look Back from Tatsuki Fujimoto. Yuta's movie-making career started with a request from her mother to record her final moments. After her death, Yuta meets a mysterious girl named Eerie who takes his life in a new direction. The two begin creating a movie together, but Eerie's harboring an explosive secret. An overly confident student and a shut-in couldn't be more different, but love for drawing manga brings these two small-town girls together. Now, I'll be completely honest, I read both of these two series years ago when they first came out on the Shonen Jump app. I read them because they came out during the hiatus period of Chainsaw Man, so if y'all understand, if y'all were reading Chainsaw Man at the time, Chainsaw Man, it had released, obviously, it's like first part, I forgot how many chapters it is. I think it's like 10 volumes or something like that. So it released its first set. Then it took a hiatus, and that's when Tatsuki Fujimoto created two other series, the two one-shots of Look Back and Goodnight Eerie, and I forgot them completely. I'm not even gonna lie about that. It's been so long, I only read them once, but I do remember that I did love them a lot. Now, love is a strong word. I did enjoy them a lot. So because of that, I just decided, you know what, let me kind of pick these up blind, because I know not necessarily blind, because I did like these, so I know I'm going to like it again when I read it. But I decided to just add these to my collection because I wanted to add some of Tatsuki Fujimoto's stuff because, as you know, I've read Chainsaw Man. I dropped Chainsaw Man, unfortunately. When it came back after the hiatus, I wasn't feeling it. So I decided to drop Chainsaw Man because it just, the story wasn't for me. If you've been reading the second part, I got up to the point where I think Denji and the girl, I forget her name, they went over to the aquarium. They had like a date in the aquarium. So that tells you where I left off anyway, specifically. But I did recently finish reading Fire Punch by Tatsuki Fujimoto and absolutely loved Fire Punch. It was just an insane, just crazy roller coaster adventure. So I'm going to definitely get Fire Punch, but I want to start off by getting, Look Back and Goodnight Eerie because these are just some heavy hitters that needs to be added to my collection. And I think, I forgot which one. I think it was Look Back. That one just recently received an anime movie that everyone absolutely loves. So if it was Look Back that received the anime movie, definitely check that one out. Because I remember Look Back specifically. This one was very, very sad. This one actually tugged at the heartstrings. This one was probably the better one in my opinion, even though from what I can remember of it. And then Goodbye Eerie. This one was more of like the Fujimoto madness where you didn't know what the hell was going on. It was just like crazy things after crazy things. So they were both very good in their own right. So definitely pick these up if you haven't. So that was all the manga I picked up in the month of March. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I am super excited for what I picked up. It was really, really cool. Especially, picking up Tatsuki Fujimoto's work. And obviously that last volume of Candy Cigarettes. I absolutely super excited. If you're new here and you like my content, you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so no posting a video. Follow me on Twitter. Links will be in the description. This is your boy Just. I'm off this.